Well, that looks nice. Let's fly by. Welcome to FlyBy, powered by AOPA. My name is Paul Harrop, and I'm wearing a sweater. It's sweater weather here in the Washington, D.C. area, but I'm headed down to find some sun and some fun in a place called, bluntly enough, Sun and Fun. The annual aviation gathering is kicking off this week in Lakeland, Florida. It is the first major fly-in of the year. This year features the Blue Angels. Thousands of pilots are preparing to fly in for the event. That includes FlyBy's own John Munn and Callie Keller. They're going to head down there in a Cessna 182 Skylane. Here we see them planning their flight via the AOPA online flight planner. You can follow their trip. They'll be Instagramming the whole thing. Join them over on the AOPA Instagram. That's at FlyWithAOPA. If you are headed to Sun and Fun, we want to reward you for being one of our loyal viewers and social media contacts. We're having a root beer float party, and you are invited. All you have to do is show up to the AOPA tent on Thursday at 1 p.m. Show us on your phone that you follow us on Instagram or Twitter, and we've got some refreshing stuff with your name on it. I'll be there. We may even include some of you on the next flyby. It's our way of saying thank you and having a good excuse to have root beer floats at work. I really hope to see you there. As you saw in the open, the Blue Angels are set to wow the crowds at Sun and Fun this year, but did you ever think about what it takes to support a jet team like the Blues? I had a chance to ride on their support aircraft. They call it Fat Albert.
Say hello to my not-so-little friend. Fat Albert is a Marine Corps C-130 that transports the crew and equipment for the Blue Angels. Once they're at the shows, Fat Albert gets to show off low-altitude tactics, real maneuvers used in combat. The crowd gets to watch, but a lucky few get to ride on Fat Albert Airlines.
Welcome to Fat Albert Airlines. I'm Major Mike Van Wyck. I'm going to be your left seat pilot today. In the right seat,
After a crew and passenger brief, Marine Corps Major Mike Van Wyck invites us to board. For the Major, his tour with the Blue Angels is a dream come true.
I went to an air show when I was in second grade. I stood on the ramp of C-130 and my parents took a picture. And it was what I knew what I wanted to do at that point.
He worked hard and learned to fly after he was in the military, starting in a Cessna 152.
Aviation it's a pursuit of excellence. It's something that's fun, it's a hobby, it's cool to get up there and be in the sky and experience that world, but it's a pursuit of excellence. You're always getting better, you're always developing your skills.
And today he's going to show those skills off. I'm riding with a few other reporters and several dozen U.S. Coast Guard C-130 crew members. We take off on runway 27 at Lakeland, staying about 5 feet above the deck until we hit show center, pitch up 45 degrees. In the back, we're feeling several positive G's before nosing over at the top and experiencing several negative. It's just awesome. On the flight deck, you can see the crew goes airborne too, but they're hard at work helping this heavy lifter turn 60 degrees of bank.
I was in the left seat flying, but when I was making a right turn, I can't see my checkpoint, so the guy in the right seat was calling me on those checkpoints. When I was flying and looking at a checkpoint, he was calling my performance calls, saying if I was in a climb or descent, what altitude and airspeed I was at. And then the guy in the center seat was running the throttles to make sure I kept at the correct energy management state for that phase of flight.
It may be work, but this air crew is having a blast. In the back, they do somersaults when we hit 0 and negative G's. Marine Corps Sergeant Zach Williford is a flight engineer on Fat Albert.
Through the dynamic moves of the airplane, knowing what's coming up next and what we just did, and then being able to hold on at the right time, it's a lot of fun.
And that fun comes from all over the flight envelope.
One of the best things that we get to do with the aircraft is max performance. So we fly it to every single limitation in the book. We go from the lowest speed, possibly with 95 knots before we do the pushover, and we go 320 knots in the flat. So we go the entire range of speed. You know, it's a pretty big delta on the speed capability, 225 knots, and then we also go to the max bank, max pitch on both up and down, and then we also go to the max G's on the aircraft. So you need to know what those limitations are. You're always refining what those feel like.
Including one of the most dramatic landings you'll ever see. The airplane comes down at 45 degrees before rounding out at the last moment. The props go into beta, the brakes smoke up the tires. And inside, feet fly over heads as our thrill ride comes to a screeching halt. And these are real maneuvers used in combat theaters around the world, demonstrated here to show the crowds at home what it's like for those who serve.
This tour was a great opportunity for me to be able to tell the story of what we did every day in the active duty fleet around the world. So the whole reason I wanted to come to team was to tell that story and to show people what we do for a living and to show what they've entrusted us with to do.
It's a powerful message told through dramatic service on Fat Albert Airlines.
That's it for this special Sun and Fun preview edition of Flyby powered by AOPA. We'll see you at Sun and Fun. Remember, root beer floats Thursday at 1 p.m. at the AOPA tent. I'm Paul Harrop, and I'll see you there.